Hi, my name is Syed Israr Shah. I belong to Pakistan, and today I am going to talk on the abundance of pet dog in Rawalpindi district of Pakistan. My presentation include the topic. My presentation include introduction, material, method, resultant discussion, recommendation, and acknowledgments. And in annually 2 to 5,000 rabies death has been estimated for Pakistan, and Pakistan is the third one after India and China with reference to rabies death in world. And you can see this fact on the website of the Encyclopedia of the Nation by WHO. And 55 to 60 cases of rabies dog bites per day occur in Karachi city, and nearly 150,000 dog bites cases in Pakistan each year. Rabies incidence was estimated to be range between 7 to 9.8 cases per million annually in Karachi, and this is the only peer-reviewed published literature on the occurrence of rabies in Pakistan. And this study was only a hospital-based study, and 75% of government hospitals still using obsolete rabies vaccine, and there is no information available on the dog population in Pakistan, and this is the first ever study on the dogs from Pakistan. This is my study area. This part show that the demographic of my study area. My study areas included district Rawalpindi, and district Rawalpindi can administratively divided into 7 tehsils, 170 union councils, and 1,164 villages. It was not possible for me to cover whole the area, so I use census unit. Census unit include census block, census circle, census charges, and census block comprises 250 households, and census circle comprises 5 to 7 blocks, and census charges comprises 5 to 7 circles. And I use census circle in Rawalpindi city and town area. This is the map of my study area, and along with the map of Pakistan, you can see the dog in black represented the representing villages I study through questionnaire, and dog in white are going to represent the town areas and city area of Rawalpindi district. Methodology include 4 Rawalpindi city census circle, 7 town census circle, and 16 villages were surveyed through questionnaire and interviews. The questionnaire was in Urdu language, and questionnaire include information about the owner name, age and sex, number of people lived in household, number of dog in household, age of dog at adaptation, rabies death in area, dog bite in household and its treatment, number of dog rabbits in area, what people do after touching the dog or handling the dog. The information thus collected was compiled and analyzed using Microsoft SS database and SPSS software. This slide represented the respondent general information, and you can see here the most of my respondents were male, and this graph represents the education status of my respondent, and this graph represents the age of respondent I surveyed. And this is the table of my study areas. You can see the habitat included Rawalpindi city, towns and village, and this column represents the name of the my sites, and number of households, survey in area, people lived in household, people per household that have dog, yes or no, and ownership pattern or ownership percentages, and number of the dogs in household, and dog to human ratio I have calculated. And you can see that overall I surveyed, I got 1,860 questionnaire filled by the people, filled by me, and I got so out of these 709 people have dog in their house with 38% ownership, and this human to dog ratio was overall human to dog ratio was 14, and the human to dog ratio in city area was 59 into 1, and in town was 13 into 1, and in villages was lower than this 1 into 12 for human to dog. And this graph, this slide representing a comparison of ownership pattern in the urban and rural areas, and you can see my result here. In first of all, you can see that in Rawalpindi city, the lowest ownership is lowest ownership percentage is seen as compared to the other area of world, and the ownership percentage in village area is higher, have no significant, have no different, have no much different with others studies. And this graph represents human to dog ratio of I have got from my survey that human to dog ratio in city was higher, the second highest after this second highest in world in this study, and but there was no much difference you can see here of the human to dog ratio with other studies. This slide represents some information about number of dogs per household in a, per household, and you can see that number of dogs per household. The majority of people like to have one dog per household, and age of adaptation, age of dog at adaptation, and you can see the majority of people have had adopt the dog from age of 1 to 3 months, within age of 1 to 3 months. And this represent this question was added by me due to when I go to survey, I find that people wash their hand after touching the dog, and I was very much interested why the people wash their hand after touching the dog, and I found that the reason behind this, and then 10% of people wash their hand due to religious reason, while 18% of people wash their hand only for hygienic reason, while 72% of people wash their hand for both reasons. This is another table. I have collected data about the this table give the information about the rabies death and dog bite cases reported in selected area of Pakistan, and you can see here that overall 350 respondents reported that they know or heard about rabies death in area, and 955 people reported that they know or heard about dog rabbit in area, and for dog, and 459 people reported that dog bite in their household member. And this slide represents more information about the rabies cases in Rawalpindi district, and you can see here that majority of the rabies deaths were reported from village area. Majority of my respondent belong to village area, and here you can see that the vector of the rabies, and majority of my responded told me that the person died of due to the dog bite, as you can see 89%. Dog bite in this slide give more information about dog bites in Rawalpindi district, and you can see here in first graph that that most of people were bitten by dog in recent year 2004 to 2012, in this graph, and you can see that the dog bite was male bites dog. Remember, I see that this was male bites dog bites in our area. And treatment, I was very much interested that what people do after getting bitten by dogs or dog bites, and the most of people get treatment from go to hospital and get treatment. About 40% people go this. I summarize all my result in this slide. 350 household reported only 26 rabies death in all human settlement, and 6 rabies death. After I analyzing data, that 6 rabies deaths were after 2000 to 2012. And my study indicated that 89% rabies death due to the dog bites in Rawalpindi city, Rawalpindi, Pakistan, and 459 household reported dog bites, and it was associated with the male. After dog bites, 24% people got spiritual treatment only, and 40% got go to hospital only, and 25% did both, while 11% did nothing about treatment. Only 38% households were positive for pet dog. The overall human to dog ratio was 1:14. On the basis of my study, I have some suggestion and recommendation that ABC program is in practice in many countries of world and should be immediately start in Pakistan. Vaccination of pet dog should be carried out in villages as large number of pet dogs and dog bites are reported in villages. Rawalpindi district is hilly tract of land with the relatively little agriculture. Hence, the rural population of the district is small. So is also case with the dog population. To know exact scenario of the dog population, the similar study should be conducted in other areas of Pakistan. Rabies cause deaths are more common in the rural areas. Here, good number of the people depend upon the spiritual treatment or local medicine man. Awareness programs for the villagers should be start. Hopefully, WHO or any other organization may help to start the dog population management program in Pakistan. I want to acknowledge my PhD supervisor, Professor Dr. Mirza Azhar Beg, to enhance me and able me to present this presentation before you, in front of you, and Higher Education Commission Pakistan to give me scholarship for PhD studies, Population Census Organization Pakistan to give me data on the Rawalpindi district, and authors and elsewhere team to allow me to use their research article. And in last, I also want to thank ICMA to give me chance to present my research here in front of you. Thank you. This is a reference.
Thank you, Dr. Shah. Also keeping the time. We have time for questions now. Please.
Dr. Shah, your 1-to-14 ratio, one dog for every 14 people, was that in cities or in rural areas?
In overall study area, while in city it was 56 per dog. You can see in my result.
One dog for 56 people?
Yes.
Hi, thank you. So you're talking about the abundance of pet dogs, right?
Yes.
Now, which dogs are doing the biting? Is it, you talk about also dog bite figures.
Yes.
Are these
You want to say
the
that
pet dogs doing the biting, or free roaming, unconnected dogs doing the biting?
I don't represent data about this. I collected this data that what dog bites you the man was bitten by his own dog or some other dog, a neighbor dog or street dog, and this is overall overall ratio representing overall data, and don't I separate here in this presentation.
Okay, so we don't know where those bites are coming from.
Yes.
And the ABC program that you are hoping to get going, would that be for street dogs or the people's dogs?
I want for street dogs.
Okay.
Yes.
And so now in the study areas where you're doing your Rawalpindi and Murray and Taxila, is the standard current policy to have regular killing of the dogs? Is that what they do? Because we all saw the recent article in the newspaper about the killing in Karachi of many dogs.
Yes.
Do they do that in Rawalpindi also?
In Pakistan, there is no NGO working except Vespa was working there in 2009, they closed their work there. If someone in community call that there is a problem, he has problem with dogs, the government try to kill the dog. It is in our society, it is normal thing to kill the dog and to get rid of the dog.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for this research. It's really interesting to have a glimpse into what's going on with the dog population in Pakistan. A comment really, based on these data that you show, the recommendation of an ABC program, I wonder, we've talked a lot about the role of sterilization and disease control. And I didn't see data that indicate, and I'm not saying that you don't have that data, but I didn't see data that indicate that there is a population size or turnover problem. I assume there probably is, but based on these data, if rabies is the specific concern, I would say that the evidence would show that a rabies vaccination campaign without sterilization would probably meet the disease management goals. So I wondered if you have some comment on that and the role of sterilization that you see, and maybe other data that you have.
Yeah. Thank you.
Do you want to answer anything? That was a bit of a long question, that was.
It was a question. I suppose, shall I be clear? Do you have other data that indicate that the population size or turnover necessitates ABC?
No,
Because
just
it sounds...
I want to say something.
Yeah.
That this is one part of my thesis. This is the one part of my thesis. I have studied in most on stray dog population in Rawalpindi district, and you see the district villages here. I use questionnaire data just for my want to get some information about pet dogs. I have data on the stray dog or street dog or free roaming dogs, and even I have studied some feral dogs. I have discussed with someone here about this. I accidentally enter in this field. I'm zoologist basically, and I was study on vulture population. Depletion of vulture population and the impact of depletion of vulture population on the ecology of Potwar region. And after that I find that the large number of stray dog or free roaming dog or what you can say then are eating carcasses. I study about 85 carcasses in a large area and see that the majority, the main scavenger was dog on the area. After this I complete my MPhil, and I was just find that is the number of dog increasing in my study area or not. And I just got this idea, this concept and idea, and I discussed with my supervisor, and he allowed me or give me a topic on ecology, and my exact PhD topic is ecology and demography of dog population in district Rawalpindi. And I start to find out literature. But in Pakistan, as I mentioned in my slides, first introduction, there is no published data on dog population, and even Pakistan is the third one in world with reference to rabies death, and there is no data available on the incidence of rabies in Pakistan. As published data or internationally published data available on rabies program. And then I start my work, and I contact with different people, even Dr. Lex Harvey for he's using his method, what is he doing and how he use method, and I have a lot of guideline from him since 2012 onward. And then I start study on the stray dog or group of other dogs, and got some information. And that is why I suggested that ABC program should be used. But before this, some baseline data also be produced from big cities of Pakistan, that is Karachi and Lahore. And after this, we should start ABC program. I think that the demographic information of these two cities or other big cities are different from Rawalpindi city. I manage myself, or due to my HEC scholarship, to visit the area just for my own interest, not for any other purpose. I got a lot of information. I will publish later on. After this, I submit my PhD thesis 28th February, and go here to present my research article.
Thank you. A little bit more simpler question. And a suggestion, first of all, I suggest you do that study that we talked about last night. And the question is, you have got so much high dog bites. How many dogs kill people? Not rabies, forget about that. How many dogs actually physically kill people in your country? Do you know?
When I survey different protected areas, I want to say protected areas, due to my studies, I find that dog attack on wild animal, and I don't know about any report about killed man. I find that dog make group and attack on man, but it was I never heard about that a dog kill a man in my country. But dog kill wild animal, and even wildlife staff reported me that these dogs are making problem for their conservation activities of animals, and they even kill. They try to find out the such kind of dog and kill them in protected area.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Shah. We should pass on to the next speaker now.